Hello everyone and welcome back to Cryptid's Combo Corner. Today we're taking a slightly new twist on an old favorite into the Penny Dreadful 500. We've got Flare of Duplication, red deck wins. The basic idea is you hit them for 10 with your assorted creatures and maybe a couple burn spells, and then you can cast Brimstone Volley. In response, sacrifice one of your creatures to Flare of Duplication to trigger Morbid and copy it to deal them 10 damage. So, without further ado, let's hop into the game. Alright, here we are for round 1 of the Penny Dreadful 500. This hand looks pretty good. We've got a Savannah line into just a bunch of burn spells, which is really all that this deck wants in life. Also enjoying seeing a Frontier Bivouac over there. Even better, I see the truth. This means our opponent is probably playing the Temur Cascade deck. That deck can't beat a single Price of Progress, so we should be good. 2-mana 2/2 haste, pretty good here. There's a question of what we want to put it on. If we put it on the Greasewrench Goblin, then even if they cast a Shardless Agent, then we can attack through it, holding up the exhaust. However, I think I'm going to put it on itself so that if they want, so that they can't block and kind of tempo us. Okay, well, that's interesting. They're attacking with the Lelia. So we've got a couple options here. One option is to cast the Force of Rage. What did they exile? Shardless Agent. Okay. If we cast the Force of Rage, that is 10 damage, and then they die if they block the Wicked Roll token and we have a Brimstone Volley. I don't think they can kill us next turn, so this should be fine. And even if they do have a board wipe, it should be okay because we have so much burn in our hand. I think the only way that we lose this game is if they have a Shardless Agent in hand and they cascade into like 20 cards. Okay, well that's step 1 for them. Oh my god. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Well, 19 is not quite 20 cards, but it will be enough to get the job done here. Fortunately, as previously said, this deck really struggles against Price of Progress, so we get to bring in the Price of Progress. Probably over 2 of the Savannah Lions. Okay. It's a good thing this matchup is good, otherwise I would definitely be kicking myself for not leaving a blocker back there. We could, it is still losable. I like keeping in all of our burn because the burn can kill the Lelia. Alright, game 2. This hand's pretty good. We've got the Charming Scoundrel, we've got the combo of Brimstone Volley plus Flare of Duplication. We don't have any other creatures to go with it, which could be concerning if they have a removal spell for our first creature, but I think that's okay. Do we Chain Lightning their face here? I think so. Third land is great. There was some consideration that we would want to create a treasure token to ensure that we could cast the Brimstone Volley. But since we have a third land in hand already, I don't think that's necessary. Okay, no removal spell is awesome here. So now we get to attack, and if they try to remove it with like a Lock Whale or something, then we just get to Brimstone plus Flare. And if they take the damage, they will be dead to burn if they ever tap out. Alright, that means they're dead. So we will just show them that we have it. Importantly, I am holding control here so that I can respond to my Brimstone Volley with this Flare of Duplication. Then they go to 2, and we kill them with the Burst Lightning. We'll just use Chain Lightning, because why not? Okay, I like how we sideboarded. We could play more burn spells instead of like the Force of Rage, so that we can play more at instant speed and not die to Lelia, but I think game 1 was an anomaly. We have enough burn that we can kill Lelia the turn that she comes down anyway. I think we'll be okay. Okay, we have to throw this one back. Too many lands. No lands. Just the right number of lands. Okay, we got the price, we got the flare. I'm going to put back the Force of Rage and a land. Force of Rage is nice and all, but I'd rather have Price of Progress here because you can do it at instant speed. And eventually it should be roughly the same amount of damage. Okay, so because I have the price, I think I am going to put a Wicked Roll token on this just to push damage. The other options include making a treasure token so I can cast this Brimstone Volley, or looting away the Zurgo. Okay, they kill my Scoundrel, and more importantly, they played a basic land. That's cheating. So now we have a question here. Do we want to cast the Zurgo face up, or do we want to dash it? If we dash it, we get 2 damage in now, and they don't have any blockers, so I'm inclined to take the 2 damage. If we were to draw a 3rd land next turn, we could have gone Mountain, sack our Zurgo that's already in play to copy the Brimstone Volley. Okay, they play a Shardless Agent. And Behold, a non-basic land. So now our pop hits for 4. Okay, I think we just pass here. If we dash in the Zurgo, they're definitely going to block. I suspect they have some amount of sorcery speed removal. Ooh, pop is up to 6. Chain Lightning's a pretty good draw. What do I want to do with this Chain Lightning? Point it at their face? Yeah, because we've got the pop for 6. So let's just point it at their face. So now if we draw land, we do present lethal because they have the 3 non-basics in play. If we get to play the Zurgo, and if they ever tap out, we can price with the Flare of Duplication. Oh my god. 8 damage. Love it. If they don't find Aurelia here soon, they're pretty dead. We'll just regular cast the Zurgo, I think. Now, if they ever tap out, we do kill them with the Price of Progress. Yep, you have Aurelia. You have a Shardless Agent, and you are dead. Okay, again, we are going to... hold priority here so that we can copy our Price of Progress. They could have a Commandeer, but it doesn't do anything. Actually, does it? Can you redirect the Flare of Duplication to the Commandeer? Okay, well, looks like they didn't have the Commandeer or they didn't want to find out. All right, GG's opponent. I'll see the rest of y'all in round 3, technically, because we got a bye on the first round. All right, here we are for round 3. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got Savannah Lions into threat, Chain Lightning. Perfect. Couldn't ask for better. Well, we could ask for better, but this is still a very good hand. Also, I have skillfully won the die roll. And we're playing against Nadu. Ooh, it's like Christmas has come early. Not attacking here because next turn we can play a mountain and attack, hold up Greasewrench Goblin activation. They have a Malcolm. Malcolm blocks there. Makes sense. Okay, so now we have some decisions to make. We can play Needlehead, kill Parasite. We can Brimstone Volley them for 5, putting them to 12, down to 11 if they play a Nadu. or on their draw step, we can Needlehead Chain Lightning them, which I think is the one that I'm most inclined to do. We could also kill the Hex Parasite, but I think because we have these 2/2 First Strikers, I don't really care about the Hex Parasite. And the Needleheads are just gonna keep chipping away at our opponent's life total. They won't. It would be really good for us if they play a Nadu and activate the Hex Parasite a bunch of times anyway. So now we gotta decide, do we want to attack with our Razorkin Needleheads, or do we want to just keep draining them until they die? If we attack with both of the Needleheads, they'll probably take 2 and block 1. Then we smack them. I think we just wait. Like, we aren't really under pressure here, and they're taking 2 a turn from our Needleheads, so. Besides, if we save the Brimstone Volley, then we can kill something like a Scavenging Ooze that can gain them life, or eventually this just becomes instant speed 3 mana 5 damage, which will kill them at some point. Yeah, I don't think they can attack with the Nadu here. Burst Lightning is great. I think we just play Mountain, pass, and plan to kick a Burst Lightning on their end step. Or, you know, whenever they're tapped out. Malcolm, not very scary here. I will accept if you take 2 damage to draw a card. God, the Needleheads are so good. It's, yeah, just. I'm under no pressure here, I think. I think we just hold the Burst Lightnings. We'll also hold the Mountain in case we draw a goblin, another goblin to loot with. They probably have a mana leak in their hand. Yes, you have a Nimble Obstructionist. They're probably debating if they want to cast. They might have a fresh start for Razorkin Needleheads, but it's fine. I would love if they attack with the Malcolm here. Oh, be still my heart. Yeah, opponent has decided they've had enough. Okay, let's take a look at the sideboard. Versus the counterspell decks, I don't like the Flare, or not the Flares, the Forces of Rage. I do, however, like the Harsh Mentors and the Char, because we just want as many ways to kill them at instant speed as possible. As we saw in that game, Price of Progress is not that good, but it is, however, efficient. So I think we need to cut 2 cards here. It's probably going to be a Charming Scoundrel and a Falkenrath Pit Fighter. Could also do 2 Charming Scoundrels just to ensure that we get on the board faster than our opponent. Their deck does significantly less when they cannot draw cards with Hex Parasite. And as a burn deck, we would love for them to pay 2 life to draw a card. Even more so if we've got these Harsh Mentors in play, because that means that they have to pay 4 life to draw a card. This hand would be awesome if one of these lands were a creature, as is gonna mulligan. Well, you know, you get what you ask for. I think we keep this. If we draw too many more lands, we can loot away them with the Greasewrench Goblin, and we have the 10 damage combo in Brimstone Volley plus Flare of Duplication. So notably, all of their removal are enchantments that strip away abilities or tap the creature. So if they do deal with our Greasewrench Goblin, it is still in play, ready to be sacrificed to a Flare of Duplication. We do, however, need to draw something. Okay, opponent is back. Keeping, putting a land on bottom. Show us what you got. Safekeeper, sure. Oof, not the draws we were looking for there. That's okay. We can just pretend like we're holding something up. They are probably thinking about if they want to play Nadu and open themselves up to me casting one of our powerful 2-drops here. Okay, so now here's a question. If they have a Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel, am I okay with trading the Greasewrench Goblin in 3 mana for it? I think so. I think that if they try to kill the Greasewrench Goblin in combat, then we just Brimstone Volley plus Flare them. Of course, if they have something like a whale here, then that's less good for us. Spider Fog, sure. That's probably the... That card does not do very much versus us. I guess it makes blockers, but next turn we're definitely smashing in. Okay, this looks like a Nadu. Oh, invasion? Okay, sure. Am I willing to trade a Greasewrench Goblin for 2 Kraken tokens? I think so. I mean, I could also just leave the Razorkin Needlehead, just leave everything back to block, but I think that's not a winning line. They're also missing land drops, so I could cast an Incinerate just as a Stone Rain. Opponent is deciding if they want to block. Yeah, let's do it. If they sack a land to protect the thing, they're behind on board. If they don't sack a land to protect a thing, they're also really behind on board. Either way, this Needlehead is resolving because they tapped out. Okie dokie. We trade. That seems like a very good trade for us. Then we get to slam this Needlehead. And we're actually not that far from just getting to 6 lands and naturally Brimstone plus flaring. Okay, they found another land, which is less good for us. This is Ringing Strike Mastery, man. Okay, now if they hit a Nadu, we might be in trouble because they have this Tyrant and also the Safekeeper to protect it. However... Wait, how much is this? 5 mana untap? Okay, well... Deal. Please attack with everything. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Of course, if they have a Nadu, we're still in trouble, but... Sure. You have a 4/4. I have a Price of Progress. We also get to just naturally cast this Brimstone Volley plus Flare of Duplication. Am I supposed to do that? It's tempting, especially since I have this Price of Progress. Definitely going to play the land. They're attacking me for 7 next turn. Yeah, I think we just pass. Like, if we attack and they block with the Sea Tyrant, then we're in pretty bad shape. Yep, take 7. Now, if they cast Nadu here, we are probably just killing both of their creatures. Another Scrap Shooter. That one... Okay, so how are we doing this? A creature needs to die. Basically, how do we win this game? I think we win this game by drawing another Flare of Duplication. If we draw another Flare of Duplication, then we'll be able to... then we'll be able to pay mana for 1 and sacrifice the Razorkin for the other. I cast the pop there because that gives us that out. 7th land, not really what we're looking for, unfortunately. So how does this go? I want to be able to pay for Mana Leak. I guess also paying for double Spell Pierce could be relevant. I think it's fine. I'll hold on to this for the purposes of looting. Do I survive for 8? Yes. Okay, cool. No attacks. You take 1. I am going to block a Scrap Shooter and Flare plus Brimstone Volley then. And that opens us up to potentially drawing a Burst Lightning. I like this deck a lot. Like, even in this spot where we drew, you know, 1, 2, 8, 9 of our 15 cards for lands, we have outs because our cards are just so powerful. Now we get to see if they brought in Forbid. Okay, there's Mana Leak. They probably also have Spell Pierce. Okay. All right. GG's opponent, or rather GG. They have a bunch of 4 toughness things. Do we care? I feel like we don't really care. I might want the vortexes in, but again, I think this is more of a... We only drew 6 non-lands in our, like, 7-turn game. I think current setup is fine. 4/4s are pretty good at killing us, unfortunately. Oh, right, the 4/4 deals with the Sulfuric Vortex anyway. We don't want any artifacts or enchantments. I think I like how we have boarded, especially on the play, because we get to play just like Savannah Lions, Hate Bear, a crap ton of burn. Hey look, it's a Savannah Lions, a Hate Bear, and a crap ton of burn. I really couldn't ask for more. Okay, attack first because we're principled. In reality, it does not matter. They don't have any 1-mana interaction for either our Greasewrench or our Razorkin. Fresh start would be a bit annoying, but again, it's still a red creature. We can still sacrifice it to Flare. Scavenging Ooze. Well, Harsh Mentor means that doesn't really do anything, but it does block, which is annoying. So we got some options here. I'm going to play a Mountain. I might attack with everything. I might just kill the Ooze. I think I attack with everything. Like, I'm fine trading a Greasewrench for the Ooze. And then I can play the Harsh Mentor. I want to save the Burst Lightning for killing a Nadu if they block a Needlehead. I don't think they're blocking here, though. Like, if they do block, they probably have another Ooze in hand. Okay, here's a Harsh Mentor. This effectively turns off their Scavenging Ooze, because if they activate it, then they take a damage. Or they take 2 damage. So they'll gain a life, but they'll lose 2 life. Oh my god. We have so much burn in hand. This is great. Okay, but all of it costs 3 mana, so I'm just going to play around Spider Fog here, I think. If they cast something on end step, we hit them for 4 with this Char. Please cast a Malcolm. My creatures have done their work. Is it crazy just to activate the Greasewrench here? I don't think it is. Okay, Mountain is great. I think I'm attacking with the Greasewrench. Because if they Spider Fog, then they can't kill it. And we get to dome them for 6. If they block the Scavenging Ooze, that's good for us. Yeah, okay, cool. And now on our end step, if they try to cast anything, we get to Brimstone Volley for 5. And if they don't cast anything, then we get to Char them on their end step. Like, I think the longer this game goes, the better off we are, because this Razorkin Needlehead is just continuously dunking on them for 1. And then, you know, if they do counter our Char on end step, then we get to freely attack without being afraid of the Spider Fog. For those who don't know, Spider Fog refers to Arachnogenesis. It's a 3-mana instant that prevents all combat by non-spider creatures and creates a 1/2 spider for each attacking creature. It is generally quite good against decks that have to deal combat damage to kill you. It is, I think, not very good against our deck because we don't have to deal combat damage. And then, of course, you know, if they tap 3 mana to play a 4/4, then we get to Char their face on end step, and Burst Lightning their face on end step. Smack them for another 2, and then Brimstone Volley for lethal. Okay, they're going to tap my Needlehead. That's fine. Hex Parasite also fine. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and smack them for 4. They probably have a Spell Pierce based on the way they tapped. Yeah. That's fine. I am notably not going to Burst Lightning them here because I can Burst Lightning plus Brimstone, like kill their Hex Parasite, smash them for 5. Or they can just block. That is incredible for us. Then I think I'll play a Kellan just to give us some more threats. Like, the Ringing Strike Mastery does not actually prevent the Needlehead from pinging them. Okay, and now we're back in Spider Fog territory, but this time, if the Spider Fog, we get to burn them out. I'm gonna Burst Lightning this Malcolm. And I could cast this Brimstone Volley so that it's kicked, but I don't need to. I think if they do nothing, then we activate Kellan. If they do anything, we hit them with a Brimstone Volley. Honestly, I don't think I'm even activating Kellan. Like, I'm just gonna hold up my burn spells. They lose the game on their next draw step. Yep, you got it. All right, GG's opponent. All right, here we are for round 4. 1 land. I don't think I can keep this, unfortunately. I would love to have these Needleheads. Tigrak typically plays a bunch of card draw stuff. Okay, this hand only has 1 land, but it also has a bunch of burn spells, which is good in this matchup, I think. I think we'll put the Force of Rage on the bottom. Like, if they go turn 1 Birds of Paradise, I get to Burst Lightning. Safekeeper, I get to Chain Lightning, I guess. Just kidding. Let's attack. Happy to trade. Happy to have them take 2 damage. Cool. Alright. Needlehead, go. Hermit, sure. A bit annoying, but I think I'll go ahead. Do we Burst Lightning that one? I think I'll just hold my burn spells to kill their creatures. The problem with killing this Malevolent Hermit here is they just flash it back, right? And so it doesn't actually accomplish that much. Okay, with the Nadu happening, we probably kill it now. No, we don't kill it because I can... Oh, that's a lovely draw. I can attack into this Nadu with my Burst Lightning in hand. Okay, they have no blocks. Do we Chain Lightning them? I think so. We could also double bolt the Nadu, but I don't think that's a winning line. We could Chain Lightning them, Burst Lightning the Hermit, but I don't want to give them free triggers. So they play a fight spell is kind of the problem here. If they play a fight spell, we play a Brimstone Volley. They counter. We untap and do what? Alright, this is probably fine. Like, it's a little unfortunate that it gives them a Nadu trigger, but I think I'm just going to be okay with that. Ooh, please activate your Hex Parasite. Yes. Yes, very good, very good. Yes, you have acquired some counter magic. Very nice, very nice. If I hit a land, I can actually... oh, okay. Pop. Also pretty good. No attacks. We're just going to keep draining you. What have they revealed? A Mana Leak, a Malcolm. If they play the Malcolm, I am casting a Brimstone Volley at their face. Face? Yes. No, again, if they attack with the Malcolm, they take one from the Needlehead. Having both the Burst Lightning and the Pop is nice because it means that if they pay any more life to the Parasite, then they'll die. Ooh. All right, we're about to find out if they know how Malcolm works with Needlehead. Okay, Mountain's great. It means that their Mana Leak can no longer counter this Burst Lightning. I see no reason to not just be patient here. Like, we get to go end step Burst Lightning Price of Progress if they attack with the Malcolm. And if they don't, then maybe we just Brimstone Volley their face. Although they do have 8 cards, so I might just wait. Like, it's probably fine to just wait. Yeah, okay. Opponent agrees. I think this is something that maybe the other folks playing mono red don't necessarily get about the deck. Because our burn spells are so powerful, we don't have to fire them off immediately. We can just sit. Okay, we'll board exactly the same as blue-green Nadu, although we saw Unctus, which means that it's probably not straight Nadu. They're probably playing Fate Stitcher and Fauna Shaman and friends. Okay, another one-land hand. This one I think we have to mulligan because we don't have any interaction. And also we're on the draw. So we really need 2 lands. Okay, alright, okay, alright. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Land go is great for us. Here's a Goblin. Probably going to play a Scoundrel next turn. Might Chain Lightning something if they play something worth Chain Lightninging. Let's just play the Scoundrel. If they have a mana leak, they have a mana leak. If they don't, we get to attack for 2. My guess is they have a mana leak, which means we get to attack for 2 instead of 4. Okay. We could roll here. Important to get the combat damage in before Spider Fog comes up. If they whale us, are we putting one of the creature? Are we putting the creature on top? Probably not. Yeah, that's fine by me. Trade. You have cast an Ambush Viper. Okay, so Nadu is both a blessing and a curse here because it means they can potentially draw a bunch of cards, but it also means that they're going to put a bunch of lands in play, and we do have this double Price of Progress. And because they're at 11, they only need 3 non-basics to die. Or if they go to 4 non-basics, then we can incinerate them. All right, this is looking pretty reasonable for us. I think I'll wait until we have the extra land to start firing off spells. Like, the key to beating the counterspell matchups is to just be patient, wait until you can overload their counter magic mana. Basic Island, that's cheating. Please pay life, please pay life. No? Okay, well you don't have any counter magic available, so I'm probably going to Incinerate and then either Chain Lightning or Char. Fauna Shaman. Do I want to kill the Fauna Shaman? I kinda don't. But also this does win the game for them next turn. Because they can get a Fate Stitcher and untap it. Okay, well they don't have Spell Pierce, and now they have 2 non-basics in play. And we draw a mountain for the Char. This just goes face. Do you have the Spell Pierce? No. That's so good for us. All right, so now this is interesting. Here's what I'm thinking. The pop is going to deal them 4. Second pop is going to deal them another 4. Chain Lightning. Okay, I think what we do is on their end step, we cast Burst Lightning, target them, pop. Sure. So now we find out how many counterspells you have. So what this lets me do is if they only have 2 counterspells, then we get to pop Chain Lightning them on my turn. That sure is looking like only 2 counterspells. Spell Pierce. Right. Sure. Oh, Mana Leak. Sure. Three is a good amount of life, I think. I do think we are losing this game because our flurry of spells was insufficient. And they do have a clock. Oh. And they can pay blue mana for Unctus? That's cheating. Brimstone Volley is great. I think I have to respond to this. Honestly, probably should have done this on my turn. Because they could have drawn a counterspell. What is this? Commandeer! Hardcast Commandeer. Love it. All right, cool. Well, game 3 on the play. We'll probably find a Hate Bear. Doesn't look like they have any removal for our creatures. Just a bunch of counterspells and Nadus, which is very good for us. So the thing about Pop, like obviously it looked pretty good that game, but it's mostly good in the late game. And if we make it to the late game, then we have already lost. So I think we just ship it. 2 is a good number of pops. Man, it would have been so sweet to have a flare in our hand there. Nice commandeer, nerd. I'm just gonna copy my burn spell anyway. Hand's great. We've got Savannah Lion, Chain Lightning for whatever their first blocker is, and a Flare of Duplication for a big burn spell that we draw later, or push comes to shove, just this Incinerate. Let's lead on the one that we're least likely to care if it dies. You know, I thought about swapping these out for Rakdos Cacklers here. Okay, bolting the bird, not too difficult. The one toughness is a bit of a liability in this matchup because they can use the Hex Parasite. Oh! Exciting. They really want this bop to survive. What did they exile? 2 Fate Stitchers. I'm gonna kill your bird. You have a Hermit. I might kill it. Just leave them low on resources. Of course, if they have a land, this backfires, but probably fine. Aether Channeler. That's rude. Needlehead is great. This is a threat. And one of the nice things about Needlehead is it just has First Strike. So if they tap out to bring back the Hermit, then Archmage is a little scary, but probably fine. Okay, if we attack with both, they can double block, so we would be bluffing a burn spell, basically. I think it's fine just to play another Goblin. We're not really under pressure here. Like, yes, they're getting in for 2 in the air, and they're probably going to make another 2/2 flyer, but okay, so now we just get in with our Goblins, I think. The Safekeeper is a bit annoying. Char is obviously a good draw here. Yeah, deal. You're trying to race. Okay. Pop is an excellent draw. Actually, it's not a very good draw because they have the Safekeeper. The Safekeeper can sacrifice all of their lands. So I'll probably still fire it off on end step. This race favors me, I think. If I draw another red creature, it definitely favors me because I don't have to give up my Needlehead. If I find a burn spell, it favors me. If they find a Nadu, I'm suddenly very behind. Red creature! Red creature! Lovely. Okay, so because we found the red creature, we are definitely winning the race. What we can do is, depending on what they do here, all right, let's see. I think we just let them do their thing, and end of turn we can start leveling up Kellan. All right, let's see. That one's annoying because now they have 2 ways to counter our Char, which means that we can't safely Flare of Duplication it. I think we let it go because we're going to make them jump block this Kellan next turn anyway. Wow, this is such a cool game. Very close. Tiggerak over there obviously getting a little bit flooded, but making the most of the resources available. Ooh. Okay, what are we doing with this Charming Scoundrel? Let's say we attack with everything. What happens? They like block. We get to kill probably the Hermit and the Safekeeper. We could also put a Wicked Roll token on the Needlehead. Oh my gosh, so many options. So easy to get this wrong. What do we think their last card in hand is? My guess is it's a mana leak, so we probably don't want to play the Charming Scoundrel here. I think what we do is we attack with everything and plan to level up the Kellan if they block it. You know, I spend a lot of time thinking about lines with this deck, but usually the answer is just right-click attack with all. Like, if they triple block the Razorkin here, we level up the Kellan, and assuming this last card is Mana Leak, they take 6 and go to 2. And yes, they get the Needlehead off the table, but we kill 2 of their things, and are in generally a very good spot. I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, just level them up. Let's kill the Hermit. Now we'll kill the Glen. I guess killing the Hermit is maybe better because then it has summoning sickness when they bring it back. Okay, well that's a good draw. It's another 2-drop. It's a creature that they can't spell pierce. Okay, Wicked Roll token. Because that just resolved, we're going to put it on the Charming Scoundrel. And then I'm also going to cast this Harsh Mentor. Maybe their hand is just double Spell Pierce. That would be very good for us. Okay, because they tapped like this, Spider Fog is actually bad for them here, assuming no Commandeer. Oh yeah, it could also be a Commandeer, huh? Yep, attack with everything. Okay, they just don't have anything amazing. Wow, what a game. Whew. Okay, all right, I'm going to take a breather and then we'll move to the next round. All right, here we are for the next round of the Penny Dreadful 500. This hand has a lot of things that I like, but only one land. Also, 2 Flare of Duplication, 1 creature is not really what we're looking for, so I think we throw it back. This hand is great. Probably going to put back a Scoundrel, probably. Yeah, because Force of Rage is a good source of damage. Okay. Though possible I should have kept the Scoundrel just to start jamming it into opponent's counterspells. Blue, green. Okay, Nadu. Got it. Boom. If they mana leak this, I'm happy. If they flash into Malcolm and block, I'm happy. I think I'm pretty happy whichever way this gets answered here. Yeah, especially wanting to not have put back the Scoundrel with the second Force of Rage drawn, but you know, you can't know that at the start. So if they play Nadu here, I think we just jam the Razorkin. If they don't play anything here, yeah, sure, let's play a Pit Fighter. And then this lets us bolt a creature if they flash it in at end step. Like that one. Okay, they have a Spell Pierce, sure. My guess is there's a Nadu incoming, but they'll probably loot first. If they slam Nadu, we do just slam the Razorhead. Yeah, the Mastery not going to do a whole lot against us, thankfully. Well, maybe. It's interesting that they pitched that. That means they have another one. If they mastery the Pit Fighter, we can still sacrifice it to its own ability if we deal them damage. Okay, great. There's a Nadu, which means the coast is clear for this Needlehead. No attacks. So they do give their Nadu vigilance here with the Minamo. So if we, and also +1, interesting. YOLO. Maybe they let first strike damage go through first. It's also possible I'm supposed to Force of Rage, or sorry, Flare of Duplication to kill the, like sacking the Falkenrath Pit Fighter to kill the Nadu. Okay, let's make sure. What did you hit? A Safekeeper? Sure. So they get to pump in response. I get to flare. If they have counterspell here, we do lose. Okay, cool. Game 2 on the play. Less auspicious, but still pretty good, I think. Okay, so we cut the Force of Rages, we bring in the Harsh Mentors, cut 2 Charming Scoundrels for the 3 Chars. You know, I don't know if this is good content, but we are facing against Nadu every round of this run. Alright, 1 land, can't keep. Well, maybe. We do have double Greasewrench Goblin, double Flare of Duplication. These are effectively 0 mana spells, and we have a removal spell for whatever their first creature is. Alright. Like, the only thing in this hand that we can't cast is the Incinerate, which I think I'm okay with. Obviously, we would like to have one of our Hate Bears. I think this is going to be good enough. Okay, so now, aha! Second land is great for us. Alright. Kill the Hex Parasite so it doesn't block our Savannah Lions. Play Greasewrench Goblin. Smack. And then we do have 9 damage in hand, so if these Greasewrench Goblins can deal another 3 damage, or another 9 damage, we should be Gucci. Ooze, we'll just Incinerate that. Oh, Char means we have 12 damage in hand. So that means that if they just slam a Nadu and we draw a land, then we do... I guess we don't quite kill them because we have to deal them 2 more damage. Raccoon, sure. If we draw a land, I'm probably just killing the Raccoon, huh? Yeah. Just keep pushing. It's possible I needed to hold that so I have something to copy with the flare, but I'm pretty confident we'll be able to find something. Sure, you have an invasion. Like that. That's a very good one. If we attack with 1 here, they double block. Are we okay with that? I think so. And if they single block, we just activate Exhaust. And then on their turn, we activate Exhaust, discard a Flare of Duplication, I think. What you got? Nadu. That's rude. Another land, not really what we're looking for here. Probably still play it. Ooh. Make him use a mana leak. Sounds good to me. And if they're just holding up Spell Pierce, then this is even better. Notably, if they attack the invasion with their Nadu, they are dead on the crackback. Also, Price of Progress, very good here. Plays around Spell Pierce. Okay. Sure, a second Flare of Duplication, why not? If they have a Flash Flyer here, we're in trouble. They don't. Lovely. Okay, so that means they probably have a blocker. Okay, no. I mean, I like just sitting here and playing this waiting game. I think that benefits me. Okay, we make this a 4-3 and smash, yeah? That means they probably have another Nadu in hand. That's okay. The 1/1 is mostly here for sack fodder for Flare, I think. Oh, okay, they have Malcolm. Strange. Probably, maybe I should have attacked with the Charming Scoundrel also. The difference between 8 and 9 here is very large. Okay, well that's good for us. Unless they have a Hex Parasite. Ah, second Nadu, sure. Alright, so if we draw a 1 mana dork here. Right, I don't think we're getting a better opportunity than this. So let's just double char them, huh? No, any burn spell works? I think we're probably dead. Haste Zurgo works. Well, not after they flip the invasion. Yeah, if we had attacked in with our Charming Scoundrel, I think we win this, but that's okay. We're undefeated so far. We've got some games to lose. All right, yeah, that locks it up. So they can gain some life. I guess I could draw pop. And they could have 0 counter magic. Okay, well, with double Spell Pierce drawn, we are officially dead. Alright, cool. GG's. See y'all next round. Alright, here we are for the final round of the Swiss for the Penny Dreadful 500. Eggsy, well-known Necrotic Ooze player. I think I keep this hand. Could be too slow, but I don't have that many good cards in this matchup, so I think just having a couple of Chain Lightnings and some beatdown creatures should be okay, especially with my opponent mulling to 5. Mull to 5. Do we Chain Lightning here, or do we... I think we Chain Lightning here. We could save it for a priest, but I think it's going to be important that we just get him dead. No Dark Ritual. Great for us. Here's a Scoundrel. We'll make it big. Priest? Okay. What do we draw? Mountain? Interesting. Well, we're definitely killing the priest. The question is, what are we doing with this Scoundrel? I think we're looting. Is it better to loot or deal an extra damage? Okay, let's do math. This is 3. They'll go to 12. If we find a big burn spell, then the flare should be lethal next turn. We did not. That's okay. What else you got there? Animate dead on the priest. Sure. Okay. You know, another land was not really what I was looking for, but you do what you have to do. If they have the Buried Alive here, we do lose. And this is one of the downsides of casting the Chain Lightning. Oh, okay. Alright, so any giant burn spell is winning here. Okay, let's see. Pop currently deals 2, so they're at a virtual 6. If we attack with both, they block both. Go to 5. I think we just got to pass here, unfortunately. Play land, please. Possible I should just pop here so that Burst Lightning is a good draw. But if I draw Burst Lightning, I can kill both of their things. So I think we just keep going. All right, that should be it. No need to do anything here. We can just wait until they tap mana. All of the things that kill us are sorcery speed. What is this? Ah, I see. Okay. Okay. Lovely. It is great to get game one here because I think this is a slightly unfavored matchup for us. So what do we have? We've got the Phyrexian Revokers, we've got the Harsh Mentors. I don't think Pop is that good because they typically don't need very many lands. I think we just cut all the Charming Scoundrels. Force of Rage, we just gotta get them dead. Okay, so this is interesting. This does beat Asmo combo, but it does not beat the other one. I think we mulligan. Okay, this hand much better. We've got a little bit of interaction. We've got a clock, and Harsh Mentor is good against both of the combos. It's less good against turn 1 Sire if they have that. Or even turn 2 Sire, for that matter. But you know, typically my opponent's deck does something scary on turn 3. More Chain Lightnings. Always happy to draw more Chain Lightnings. Buried Alive? Oh, damn. Okay. I see. I think I am playing a Phyrexian Revoker on Necrotic Ooze. And then I will Chain Lightning their face and hit them for 2. Unmarked Grave. Probably for Sire. For Grave Titan. I see. Yeah, that one's going to be a bit tricky to beat. Like, do I have to... How much burn do we have in our hand? We've got 8. I think what we have to do here is Chain Lightning them, hope to rip a Brimstone Volley or something else, some high damage spell to duplicate with the Flare. So with that in mind, I think we just loot this turn. Maybe it's best to Chain Lightning, Burst Lightning, hope to rip it. All right, let's start here. This gives us the out of Brimstone Volley. If we find a Brimstone Volley, we win. No blocks. They kill a red creature. Okay, so Brimstone Volley no longer an out. Kellan is fine. Put him to 6. I think we're dead here. This is 5. Yeah, okay. Five plus 8 is 13, so I would have to block with both, and then I don't have any outs. Oh wait, no, I can just block with the Revoker on the Grave Titan, right? Okay, okay. So we play to the out of Brimstone Volley. Okay, there's an ooze. If we burst lightning their face, does that do anything? They'll have 7 toughness. Why not? Volley? Revoker. Okay, cool. Dead. Now we're on the play, so we should be better. I'm tempted to cut the Revokers because we already have so many good cards. Like, we've got a lot of hate bears versus them. I'm tempted to bring in 1 or 2 Chars instead. Especially since we've now seen Grave Titan. We need a bit more reach, I think. And Grave Titan is pretty good against Force of Rage, so I'm going to switch the Force of Rages out for Chars. Honestly, it's possible that Char should just be main deck over Force of Rage. Like, that card has been performing much better for me than Force in this tournament. Of course, we've mostly played against Nadu, so that is potentially to be expected. Alright, this hand has a removal spell for an early priest. We will just lose if they have, like, the turn 3 kill, but it's probably fine. I could, this one's borderline, like I could see throwing it away. Okay. Probably taking the, okay, just the flare, sure. Okay. Lovely. Can't discard the top of the deck, or creatures for that matter. Okay, sure. I'll play 1 land. I think we hold the Chain Lightning. Buried Alive. Okay, so that means we're probably dead next turn unless we can kill them or we find a hate bear. Yeah, that pile smells like Buried Alive, or smells like Animate Dead to me. So what we have to do here, I think, is attack. and sacrifice the Pit Fighter to draw 2 cards. Okay, well, this is suboptimal, but we do get to double Burst Lightning the Ooze after they bring it back in response to the draw triggers. The problem, of course, is now they have 7 cards in hand, which almost certainly will include another Living Death, or another Animate Dead. Yeah, tough matchup. I guess we're not technically dead yet. Greasewrench Goblin, probably not going to get it done, but what do we find? Incinerate would have been nice last turn. Okay. Second Animate Dead? Yeah, alright. GG's. Alright, we made it. Top 8. Playing against Simic Nadu here. I think this hand is a mulligan. Force of Rage is not that good against Nadu. Chain Lightning is also not great. I would prefer to have a better threat than Charming Scoundrel. Okay, this hand is better. We have the Flare of Duplication Brimstone Volley combo and also a creature. We'll keep. There's a question here if I put back the land or if I put back a spell. I think we've got 3 draws, 20 lands in the deck. We're fairly likely to hit 1 land, and if we don't hit a land, we should hit spells that we can cast. So, then again, Force of Rage is... okay, alright. Talked myself into it. There's like a reasonable likelihood that we get punished here. Okay. Here's the Savannah Lions. Second Brimstone Volley is okay, especially with the Force of Rage. So one kind of fun thing about the Force of Rage is that the tokens die on your upkeep, which means that more bid is on for the Brimstone Volley. Okay. Happy to have a Zurgo Bellstriker here, because Hex Parasite doesn't kill it when it blocks. Ooh, a non-basic land. That's good for us. I might just fire off this pop here at end of turn. Depends on what they do. Like if they slam a Nadu and pay a bunch of life, obviously I'm casting the pop. However, if they don't do anything, then we just pass and attack. Okay, punished for putting back the land here. First start is great for us because we can still sacrifice things to Flare of Duplication, even when they're abilityless. Okay, I think we just play the Greasewrench. Right, there's a Nadu. How much life are you paying? Please pay like 6 life. Pretty please? Yes. I love it when my Nadu opponent does this. Aw, only 1 card? You know you want more. Okay, so do we force the issue with this Chain Lightning? I think so. I think we attack. If they know it's good for them, they will block with the Hex Parasite. Lovely. Okay. Oh man, that's not a non-basic. Oh, even better. Okay. Bolt the bird. Rude. Okay, I think it's important enough that we gotta use our flare here. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I realize now that if they found an untapped land, they could have paid for the Spell Pierce. Fortunately, no untapped land, and they don't really have a clock. They do have a mana leak now. They can like play the Eater of Virtue and the Nimble Obstructionist, but if we just find a land here, we're looking pretty okay. You have a 3-1. Congratulations. No land, but Burst Lightning's okay. We get to kill this Obstructionist. Could be better just to go face, but I think it's best to get this guy down. Gives us a lot of time. Do we play the Pit Fighter? Yeah. If it eats a mana leak, so be it. No blocks. So what we learned playing against Tigrak is that opponents are not going to be playing their non-basic lands, so they definitely have a mana leak in hand. But the other 3 could just be non-basic. Ooh, another non-basic. Okay. What are we doing with this Burst Lightning? I think we're holding. And then if they attack with the Hex Parasite again, end step, we can Burst Lightning it. Let's see if this seats a Mana Leak or a Spell Pierce. Yep. Okay, alright. Mountain Force of Rage. Forbid? Sure. I think we still don't attack here. Okay, this attack would have been interesting because it would mean we'd be dead in 2 turns. As is, I think we take it. And then next turn what we can do is we can attack. If they block, we Brimstone Volley. Really interesting game. Opponent probably deciding whether they want to, like, I don't know, play a land or something, or just hold the card for Forbid. Ah, that probably kills us. That just gets Nadu. Oh, but they're tapping out. Okay, so that makes Flare a live draw off the top. I guess they could also get like Aether Channeler would be pretty good. Safekeeper, sure. We'll play the Scoundrel. I think we're pretty dead, but... Right, I guess it makes sense that that resolved because they only have the one forbid. Let's put a Wicked Roll token on our Pit Fighter. And now if they want to kill it, they have to double block, and we have a blocker back to stop the 3 damage that they have coming in. Deal. Easy block. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, mountain. How do we feel about volleying the Hex Parasite? Let's do it. This forces them to use the Forbid if they want to keep their creature alive. Okay. Get in for 1. Of course, if they have a Malcolm, it's pretty bad for us. Okay, I see. But how bad for us is it really? Like, if we just find a Burst Lightning... Oh, they just kill us with the Sanctum. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah, being on the draw is tough. You know, this matchup's much easier when you get to go first. That's okay. I definitely don't think it's lost when you don't. Okay. I don't think pops are very good. I think Char is pretty good. Like we saw that game. Force of Rage, typically you just cast it and it gets countered. I'm actually going to keep in the Charming Scoundrels this time. Like, they're just very flexible. That said, they will be bringing in a bunch of 3-mana 4/4s, so it might be better to do the plan that we did last time. Yeah, I like 2 pops. Yes, I would love to be on the play. Thank you for asking. All right, hand's great. Keep. Turn 1 Savannah Lion, turn 2 Harsh Mentor. I don't think we're trading until Brimstone Volleys are online. This pop looking pretty silly. So either they don't know what this text reads or they have a removal spell. Either way, I'm going to pitch the land and the pop. Okay, it's good draws. Fresh start maybe. That is so good for us that the fresh start is going here instead of here. Like, hopefully they just play a Nadu and don't realize. Okay, so how much of our hand are we dumping here? Let's do the cheeky thing and get in with the Greasewrench. Send a message, but also if they block our volleys online, so. Yep, you have an Eater of Virtue. It costs you 2 life to activate it. Okay, so I will not be killing the Nadu. I will extra not be killing the Nadu. Do I just burn them in the face for 3? I think no. I think we pitch the Zurgo. And then we Burst Lightning their face. Ooh, Segovia is scary. That gives them basically infinite mana and as many cards as they want. That probably locks it up, unfortunately. Well, it was a good run. Okay, sure. Ironically, Pop would be very good here. We know one of their cards is Nadu. They don't have a Forbid because they didn't counter the Harsh Mentor. Here's a Brimstone Volley. Might be a mana leak. Yeah, okay. Sure. Untap Nadu. Okay, there's a forbid. Second forbid. Alright, well, it was a fun run. Got by Nadu in the end. There you have it. Hey, we got top 8. Lovely. We did get kind of trounced by Nadu in the last 2 matches that we played against it, but we did beat Nadu the first 2 times we played against it. So there is that. Would I change anything? I think probably the Harsh Mentors. They did not look very good against Nadu, which is the primary matchup they're there for. I would probably swap them out for Combust, just to murder Nadus on the spot instead of letting them untap and flip an Invasion of Segovia and draw a bunch of cards. To that end, I think Char is still a pretty good sideboard card versus Nadu. I don't know, I think that matchup is hard. Nadu did go on to win and put 4 decks into the top 8 out of 6 starting decks. So I think it's fine to be a little bad into Nadu. As for the rest of the deck, I think it performed quite well and did what we were expecting it to do. The Forces of Rage kind of underperformed, but that may just be because we weren't really gold fishing. In the 500, we were more trying to interact with our opponent. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe I should have left the Forces of Rage in so that we could just have our giant 3 mana 6 damage burn spell to complement our Brimstone Volleys. Who knows? Right, well, that's a wrap for Season 37. I hope to see you all in Season 38. It's looking like Nadu is trending out and a couple of sweet ones are trending back in again. So let me know in the comments below what you're excited to see for the next season.